everybody. Nice to see you again today. Well, as I said the other day that I would be on a field trip, and I am. Today I'm in Ohio and hanging out in the truck because miraculously it's got Wi-Fi. Who knew? And I'm hanging out at a competition shooting match. So there you go. It should be 8:15 CST as far as I know. Hey Lisa, good to see you. And so let me give you a quick look around as to where I'm at today. Oh, let's see. Good morning, Lisa. So, Ohio, and people are shooting things. Believe it or not, I'm married to a guy who loves competition sports, including firearms. So, hey, Anna, good to see you. So I'm one of those crazy diverse people who's able to get along with just about everybody, from archers to competition shooters to people with a lot of testosterone to women who are dealing with a lot of things. It gives me wonderful, wonderful skills. And this is actually what, hey, Brenda, great to see you. This is actually a little bit about what our topic is on today. We've been talking about Eben Pagan and his book, Opportunity. Oh, yeah, let me grab it. And his book, Opportunity. And one of the things I love about this book is that his focus is on having different mental models of the world. And so it's perfect. You know, I spend a lot of my time in my office hanging out with women who are super cool and interesting, but have a very specific mental model of the world. And it's good for me and it's good for everybody to get out and explore all of these other mental models. It's super interesting to just sit back and hang out and say, hey, you know, where is this coming from? Why do people think about this way? So one of the things about hobbies like this, like my husband's involved in, which, you know, as I said, is competition shooting things, and little metal things pop up and, you know, you run through gates and it's a whole crazy sort of thing, which I'm not involved in, but every so often I join him. So the topic today is about how to be a master at just about anything. Anything especially that's important in life. Hey, Julie. One of the things that we focus on, and it's a little bit loud, let me roll up one of the windows. There, that's a little bit better. So one of the things about hobbies and learning new skills is we tend to get attached to thinking that we have to master them. You know, we dive right in, we look at these people who've been doing it for 20, 30, 40 years, and we think to ourselves, that's who I want to be. But the challenge with that is it means that we end up very myopic. It means we end up very one-sided because we spend all of our time and energy mastering one thing. But let's do a little bit different of a mental model. What if, instead of focusing on mastering something, we focus on learning it to competence? And that's one of the mental models that Eben's been talking about in his book, is instead of learning something and becoming the person, whether it be the guru with the scarves and the, you know, who talks to angels and it's simply amazing, or even, you know, the top of the competition shooting circuit, what if we learned a new skill because it got us thinking in a new way? And we just learned it to competence so that we knew enough of the culture and of the world, and then we moved on to something different. What if that was okay? And you know what? In this mental model, it is. Because when we learn new skills, we then start to integrate all of the information we have. So if you learn photography and then you learn, you know, painting, and then you learn competition shooting, and then you learn archery, and then you learn how to be a race car driver, and then you learn meditation. When you learn all of these skills, most people will say, well, you're just, you know, a jack of all trades and a master of none. You know, and that's kind of looked upon, at least to some people, as a negative, as something that isn't something we want to encourage, that we should spend our time and really master something and get really good at it. What if we don't get really good at it? What if we just get good enough? Hey, Kathy. What if we just get good enough so we can take the information and hang out with the culture and then integrate it with everything else that we know? Because as people, we're not designed to be so, yep, it is summer fun, Kathy. As people, we're not designed to be so myopic, because that almost turns us into like shallow metaphors. And when we look at the world, we're all becoming more shallow without this depth of understanding what all these different points of view are. And the cool thing about the body-mind is also its weakness. The body-mind will do whatever you tell it to do. So if you want to spend all of your time becoming the best photographer that ever existed, you're going to miss out. And you're not going to be the best photographer that ever existed, because you don't have all of these other things to draw from. You don't have all of these points of view and other skills that you can model. So the mental model we're talking about today is how learn something to competence, not to mastery. And then you take all of those things you now have in your toolbox, and that's how you master something. That's how you take your life and the most important things in your life to the next level. Not because you became the best psychologist that ever lived, but because you also train dogs, and because you also have a kid who is into gaming or into fantasy role play. It's because you're multidimensional, and that takes you to the next level of living. When we focus on something to mastery, it actually keeps us down. It keeps us minimized and small, because we don't evolve to that next level where we are multi-dimensional. We stay one-dimensional. Have you ever looked at people who've done deep dives into one specific topic, and they became the experts and the best in their field? And they've taken on the role, whether it be a rock star or whether it be a guru or whether it be a teacher. That becomes the identity that we have. And when that's our identity, we're actually very, very thin. We become a metaphor of something. But when we learn something to competence, just enough so that we understand it and we can experientially do it, you need to have it experiential. It just can't be watching a YouTube video. But when you get out there and you try a million different things and not just learn about it, but engage with it in some way, play with it in some way, enough that you can recreate it if you need to, and then move on. That's what actually takes our brain and our body, mind, and everything, and it takes us past rock star level. It takes us to, the level of, let's say, Maya Angelou. And I recently watched a documentary about her and about her life. And it was about how she's done so many things. Oh my gosh, she just wasn't a poet, but she was also a survivor. She moved in a wide variety of places. She was married like 3 or 4 times to a wide variety of different people. We look at ourselves and we think, oh, well, I didn't stick with it. Or, hey, Carla, I didn't stick with it. Or I didn't have the wherewithal. Or I gave up too soon. Or I tried it and then I dropped it. You know what? That's what we need to be doing. If we want to become these evolutionary powerhouses, we can't just stick and become perfect with one thing. Which means that, here's the silver lining, it means that we can stop beating ourselves up for trying different things, for trying on different personalities or clothes or ideas or hairstyles. We can put down the judgment. Because out in the rest of the world thinks that they want us to always stay the same. They think that they want us to be predictable and fit into this box that they want to see us. And you know what, as women especially, or as sensitives, we bought into that. We bought into the fact that other people want us to be predictable. But you know what? That minimizes us. That keeps us at this shallow level. When we actually learn things just to competence, just enough to do them, and engage with them and think about it in our mind. It's that integration of tools, that integration of knowledge and wisdom from all sorts of different ways of looking at the world that propels us, that evolves us to this higher level that we're looking for. which is one that's compassionate and understanding and see things from a wide variety of points of view. And we have the ability to integrate and create these wonderful synergies. You know, I've worked with a lot of women, and I've worked with a lot of women who are very good at what they do. But because they're only very good at what they do, they lack a lot of interest. They lack a lot of coolness because they can't talk on a wide variety of topics. They can only talk on the one thing that they know of, the thing that they've spent all their time learning. So if you're ready to move on to this next level, if you're ready to become this person you've wanted to be, give yourself a break. Let yourself try out as many different things as you want. Let yourself fail at things. Let yourself be a newbie. Let yourself be curious. And stop letting other people's desire for you to always stay the same and be the same so that they can be safe. Oh, I froze up. So, there we go. We're back on. Hey, Kim, good to see you. So don't let yourself be pressured by everybody around you to stay the same just because it makes them comfortable. Instead, give yourself, it is fun and exciting and a little scary, Kathy. Give yourself permission to just try things, learn them to competence, and put them back down. Because that's what makes you a cool and interesting, multidimensional, compassionate, hey Miriam, amazing, over-the-top human being. Is because you have decided to get yourself out of the box that everybody's put you in and become anything and everything all at the same time. Okay? So here's your homework assignment for today and for the weekend. Take this mental model of learning something to competence. Look at one thing you've always wanted to learn, and instead of worrying that you're going to screw it all up, and instead of worrying that you're going to make all these mistakes, or that, you know, if you're not going to do it right, then you might as well not do it all. You know, just play with something. Find something you always wanted to play with and play with it. Who cares if you get it right? Take the camera and take it outside and start taking pictures. That's all that matters. All right? So that's your homework assignment for today. Like, share, love, comment. Let's bring us all together. And thanks for joining me on my field trip in Ohio. And I hope you have a great, great rest of your day. And I'll see you on Monday with a brand new mental model that you can now integrate into your psyche so that you become this cool, higher being. All right? I'll talk to you later. Bye.